back on A Woman's Place with Lynette Jackson, and she's talking about her book, Hollow, and talking about that hollowing experience that I know that most of us have had.
Yes.
As you begin to reflect on this, and this book is a compilation of what you were journaling at the time you were going through the transition of your mother, did you come to any realization that maybe the hollowing had begun before the challenges that you were having?
Yes, absolutely. I discovered that my failed relationships with, I've been married twice, and my first marriage, I was physically abused, second marriage, verbally abused. And so I realized through those relationships that I had chose abusers. And so actually when I was writing the book, I was talking to my editor and I said, I can't finish the first chapter. And she said, why? And I said, because I sound crazy. I sound like, like I'm insane, doing the same thing over, expecting different results. She said, pray, God will give you the answer. So I remember saying, Laura, is it something that I've seen in my path? And he said, yes, absolutely. Well, in my home, my father was very verbally abusive to my mother. And so I can recall growing up living in this type of environment. But of course, that was normal to me. That was very normal to me. So it was dysfunction, but it was normal. And so I realized I watched my mother put up with, she had 7 children. My father had several children by three other children by 2 other women. And so I watched that dysfunction in there, which was very normal to me. And I realized that, in my failed relationships, the rejection, the feeling of being, not loved or really given that nurturing from a father figure was something that I had experienced in my past. And so I married and dated my father. And I think that's a cycle that we go through if we don't deal with it. And that's one of the things that I really want to encourage people to look beyond what they're going through now, to identify the things that brought them to where they are. And that's why I wrote the book and really revealed a lot about my past and my growing up and my upbringing, because it did stem from the beginning, not having that nurturing feeling from a male figure or that father to teach you to value yourself, to teach you to be a precious angel, to teach you that you are special. And so you go out looking for love. And so you select what's normal to you. Even though it's dysfunctional, you select what's normal. So yes.
Yeah, I've read a lot about fatherless daughters. And the interesting thing is a lot of times we talk about fathers who weren't present in the home or fathers who neglected their children. And a lot of times we don't realize that sometimes you can be fatherless with the father in the home.
Exactly. And he was in the home. He was there, but he wasn't a very nurturing father. He wasn't very, touchy-feely. It was, he was the provider. Yeah. And so you start to look for in a mate somebody that would provide, but you don't understand. They'd never seen a man really love a woman. So I didn't know what that looked like. And so I didn't know how to select the proper person that would just love me when I'm up and when I'm down. And the love is not conditional because when I became 65 pounds overweight, and I was overweight after having my children, they weren't attracted anymore and they didn't love me. And I kept saying, this outward appearance is all, I have this makeup on today, and that is not something that I wake up looking like every day. Believe me, if you saw me this morning before I came in here, you'd say, okay. So all of our outward appearance is going to change. And so it's just the inward man, it's the spirit that we should really look at, because that's the beauty.